Hi friends, welcome to CodeNet, and today we want to understand formatting in HTML and how we can implement quotations in HTML. So to understand formatting, all we need to know is when I talk about formatting, I'm just talking about making some text in HTML look bold, some text definitely look in an italic form. I'm sure you understand if you are of course familiar with Word documenting and anything related to that, and making some text be on a superscript level, making some text be on a subscript level, and showing some text that yes, definitely I can delete text, showing the end user that these have been deleted in HTML. So how can we format these things? And quotations, when I talk about quotations in HTML, all I'm talking about is simply how we can add the two quotation marks to text in HTML and anything related to that. So from here you can see, I'm sure from the project, there is nothing new in this project. All I've implemented are things that we've discussed from our previous sessions. Of course, here I'm just adding that attribute, which is the style attribute, and these are the values that have been sent to that style attribute that are within the board as the opening tag for the entire body element. And if we go on our browser, this is the actual implementation that I've implemented. This is the actual text centered. I've changed the background color, also the color for the text is in white. So let's go back on our IDE and see how we can implement now different formattings in HTML. So for example, what if I want to make this text look bold? That is actually formatting now. How can I format this text to make it look bold? I mean, clothes were being sold at $58. What can I do if I want to make this text bold? When we want to implement formattings in HTML, get this clear. Formattings are implemented using HTML elements. There are some elements that are specific for formatting. They just format text. For example, I've just definitely had to cut that text because I will paste it again. So the actual thing that I need to implement to make this text look bold is simply the keyword bold, which is denoted by B. B is the very actual element that makes text bold, and bold is one of the formats that we will discuss. Now, an element should have a starting tag and an ending tag. That's what we've discussed so far. So I should create the starting tag for the board, which is B, denoted by that data, and immediately I close the actual IDE will even provide the ending tag for this board, because it also understands that an element should have a starting tag and an ending tag. And if I paste text in between these tags, definitely this text will look bold when I go on my browser. If I go back here, I'm sure you can tell that definitely if I refresh, clothes were being sold at 58. Let me try to zoom a bit for you to see the changes. Clothes were being sold at $58. If I refresh, definitely the text now looks bold. Hence, I've implemented the first formatting style which I wanted to implement, which is making text look bold, and for sure that is definitely what I've done. So let's go back on our IDE again. Here I want now to see what if I wanted now to make this text, which is of course clothes, the actual heading number 2, now be in an italic form. How can that be implemented? Again, to even implement the italic as simply a formatting in HTML, we again use what is called the elements of HTML, and I stand for italic. Definitely if I cut this, I cut, and of course here I now open, provide the starting tag for italic, which is I, and I close, since an element should have an opening tag and a closing tag. Then I paste the actual words, which is clothes. If I go back on my browser, again definitely such text will be italic. Clothes, you can tell it is now in an italic form. So this has definitely worked out. Then what other formatting style do I want to implement in this session? Another formatting style is simply a delete as a way of formatting text. This is definitely common, especially on e-commerce based website or e-banking based websites. You've seen maybe there is an odd price and then they want to cancel it out and then tell you that clothes or things are at promotion and we are now selling at this price. How can we implement that? Let's go back on our IDE, because advantageously we've said each and every formatting is implemented using an HTML element. So here the text is saying, okay, clothes were being sold at $58. Currently they are being sold at $45. So meaning this should be cancelled out. It's the odd price and clothes are now at promotion. How do we implement now that formatting which will show that this has been deleted and clothes are no longer being sold at $58? Well, we provide the starting tag for del standing in for delete as an element of HTML, and immediately we do that, also a closing tag will be given. If we paste now clothes are being sold at $58, definitely if we go back on our browser we'll see that 58 will be cancelled out. It will show to the end user that definitely we've deleted 58, and this is what it's showing. We've deleted 58, hence they are no longer being sold at $58, they are being sold at $45. Is there another formatting that we can present in this session? Yes, let's present what is called a superscript formatting. Mathematics, especially in mathematics, yes, definitely, like here, down here, after this horizontal row, we have of course H2 saying mathematics. They are saying, okay, find the answer to the question 40 to the power 6. Mathematically, this should be presented in form of a power, because we are finding, okay, what's 40 to the power 6? How can we write this? How can we present this to the other individuals, to the end user, for them to see that this is definitely mathematics? Well, formatting are presented using elements of HTML. Hence, we use the keyword SUP to present a superscript and SUB to present a subscript. Now, 40 to the power 6, I mean 6 should be a subscript of 40. Hence, we can just say, okay, 40, and then SU, definitely P, that will present a subscript. Now, it needs to be in an opening tag, SUP, and definitely we even close, and then we pass in 6. When we go back on our browser, we'll definitely see the changes, because we are now saying, okay, 40 to the power 6, which is definitely, I don't know the answer because I hate mathematics. Wow, we've implemented now at least some basic formattings that we can understand, and that can open now the doors for you to understand more formatting styles that are implemented, for as long as you understand that each and every formatting is implemented using an HTML element. An element, like you are seeing on the IDE, should have a starting tag and a closing tag and the content in between. So this is simply a full element that represents a superscript. So this is what we've understood on the formatting section. So how can we now implement the double quotes in HTML? Here we are saying, okay, quotations can be implemented. Here there is of course a paragraph saying, with life, always respect the values of different people and families. Actually, at one time, a certain man said, he who shows respect receives respect in return. Let love and respect lead. So how can we now denote this text that it was definitely said by a certain man? Well, to implement what we call, of course, quotations, we use the actual key word or key letter, which is Q, to stand in for quotations. And also in quotations, they only need to be implemented when we stick to what is called HTML elements. As to implement the quotations, we need to provide the starting tag and then Q for quotation, and then we close, meaning we've provided the starting tag and the ending tag, and the text should be in between. He who shows respect receives respect in return. Let love and respect lead. Definitely, if we are to go back on the browser, we'll even see the changes. Let's refresh the browser. We see if this will provide and will add quotations to what this man said. So definitely, yeah, we've seen that we have the quotations here. He who shows respect receives respect in return. Let love and respect lead. Of course, we don't know what kind of a man actually said these words and anything related to that. So this is the actual thing that we can present for today on the formatting and quotations in HTML. Let's proceed on our next session. We see how we can implement an HTML comment. Please don't forget to subscribe, and you are on CodeNet.